Hello students, welcome back. This is another video from Dr. Anil's Botany. Today let us see the structure, classification and replication of viruses. Before we move on to the topic, I would like to give you a brief history of discovery of this virus. Shall we move on to the topic? Okay. In 1884, Chamberlain developed a porcelain filter that allowed the passing of fluid but not bacteria. The filter was useful in sterilization of liquids. A mayor working in Holland demonstrated that the sap of a mosaic leaves of tobacco plant developed the mosaic symptom when injected into the healthy plants. Right? When injected into the healthy plants. However, the infectivity of the sap was destroyed when it was boiled. So, the sap was, when boiled, the infectivity was lost. He thought that the causal agent was bacteria. At that time, nobody knows what is virus, and he thought that the causal agent was the bacteria. However, after inoculation with a large number of bacteria, he failed to develop mosaic symptom. In 1892, for the first time, a Russian botanist, Dmitry Ivanovsky, filtered the sap of diseased tobacco plant through the porcelain. The porcelain was earlier discovered by Chamberlain, that porcelain filter, designed to obtain bacteria, but the infectious agent was the filtered through the pores of porcelain. After injection of filtered sap, he found the development of mosaic syndrome. He concluded that the infectious agent was the bacterium but smaller than it. How he made that conclusion? No? The Chamberlain developed that porcelain filter. That porcelain filter is designated to obtain bacteria. That filter was, stopped the bacterial movement, and the fluids only passed through that porcelain. But Dmitry Ivanovsky, what he did is, the diseased tobacco plant, the filtered through the sap of diseased tobacco plant, it is filtered through the pores of porcelain. This porcelain didn't stop the bacterial movement. It passed through the pores of this porcelain. So he concluded that the infectious agent, it is bacteria but smaller than it. So then the infectious agent was called filterable virus. That virus means poisonous fluid. The infectious agent was called by Dmitry Ivanovsky filterable virus. That is poisonous fluid. Then M.V. Beijerinck, in 1898, a Dutch microbiologist and professor of microbiology at Technical University of Delft, Holland, put a concept. It is contagium vivum fluidum. That means living infectious fluid. This idea was considered revolutionary. Thereafter, several infectious filterable fluids were characterized from various sources. Beijerinck observed that the behavior of the filterable virus was different from the bacteria. So that was the conclusion. The Beijerinck, after the Beijerinck, he concluded that the infectious agent, that is why a filterable substance, the filterable substance is nothing but a poisonous liquid. That is what is called virus. Then, after the 20th century, what happens? By the end of 30th, 20th century, third decade of 20th century, two technical breakthrough occurred. That is, first one is techniques of ultracentrifugation, and the second one is electron microscopy. Ultracentrifugation can centrifuge the liquid so that we can separate the pellet and supernatant. Then electron microscopy. Who discovered the electron microscope? Knoll and Ruskin. Then, so that was the small history of discovery of virus. Then, so what are the general characteristics of this virus? The word virus means, in Latin word, means poison. It is an obligatory intracellular parasite. What do you mean by obligatory intracellular parasite? Obligate means true. It cannot live as facultative form. It can only live as parasite, intracellular parasite. That is why it is called, it is an obligatory intracellular parasite. It is filterable. It contains genetic material, maybe DNA or RNA, never both. You can't see DNA and RNA together. It may be DNA or RNA. Contain a protein coats that we call it as capsid, made up of capsomeres. Some viruses have spikes. Now, in the case of HIV virus and in the case of coronavirus, today's hero, coronavirus, the outer surface, you can see numerous spikes. It is a beautiful thing. And most viruses are tissue specific. But it's tissue specific, some viruses infect a particular organism. For example, in the case of hepatitis virus only infects the liver. The coronavirus, it infects the respiratory tract. So that is the characteristic feature of a virus. What are the characteristic feature? It is an obligatory intracellular parasite. It is filterable, contain DNA or RNA, never both. Contain a protein called, that is called capsid, made up of capsomeres. Some viruses have spikes, and most of the viruses are tissue specific. Then coming to shapes and size, you can see a great diversity in the case of shapes. From a road shaped, the shapes are, we can classify it into three categories. That is, helical form is there, icosahedral form is there, complex structures form is there. Helical, icosahedral, and complex forms. Here you can see some of them are road shaped, some of them are spherical, some of them have, in the case of bacteriophage, you can see here. So the shape varies. Great diversity you can see in the case of viruses. And here, I told you earlier, the human immunovirus, here HIV virus, you can see numerous spikes here, and inside this you can see double-stranded RNA. And this is the coronavirus. So beautiful virus, and beautiful things are always dangerous. You can see numerous spikes here. This is the coronavirus. And second thing is size. The size also you can see great diversity. In the case of bacteriophages F2MS2, you can see 24 nanometers, the smallest one. So supposed to be the largest virus, the Ebola virus, 970 nanometers. And the bacteriophage T even phage T4 to 25 nanometer. Rhinovirus 30 nanometer, adenovirus 90 nanometer. So the size of virus varies. It is the smallest, and which one is the smallest virus? The smallest plant virus is Satlase tobacco necrosis virus, that is 70 nanometer. Largest plant virus, citrus triestesa virus. And which is the smallest animal virus, foot and mouth disease virus, that is only 20 nanometers. And the largest animal virus, the smallpox virus. So the shape and size, you can see, the size also you can see different sizes, great variation in size and shape of viruses. It's beautiful. It is a very small, minute, and it is beautiful thing. See the case of coronavirus. You can see numerous spikes on the outer surface. The case of HIV virus, there also you can see outer surface have numerous these spikes. And the size, the smallest size, I told you earlier, the bacteriophage is 25 nanometers. Then the smallest, plant viruses, largest plant viruses. Then the largest, see the largest virus supposed to be the Ebola virus, 970 nanometer. See the size and the shape of virus, you can see a great diversity. That is the most speciality of this peculiar organism, peculiar thing. The outside, they are dead. Still, it is controversy. Outside, it is dead. When it enters into a living body, it becomes very active, right? When it enters into it, that is why we call it as it is an obligatory intracellular parasite. It can live only as a parasite. It causes various diseases. It is harmful to the host. That is why it is called the parasite. Yes. Then coming to viral structure, the complete assembly of the infectious particle is known as virion. What is virion? The complete assembly of the infectious particle is known as virion. A virion consists of nucleic acid core surrounded by a protein coat. The nucleocapsid may be naked or enveloped. The nucleocapsid. The nucleic acid surrounded by the cell wall is called nucleocapsid, may be naked or enveloped by a loose covering. The envelope is composed of a large number of subunits known as capsomeres. See the viral structure I am telling. The second one, chemically the envelope is made up of proteins and lipoproteins. Due to the presence of a lipid, the envelope seems flexible. The envelope is composed of both the host and viral components. The envelope of the virus, it contribute both host and the viral particle. So that is why it produced the envelope. See, there are three, I told you earlier, there are three groups of viruses as per electron microscopy and crystallography: helical viruses, icosahedral viruses, and complex viruses. Depending on the shape, after the discovery of electron microscope, we can see this entire organism in the three categories. That is, helical form is there, and these helical viruses are to take naked capsid. In the case of TMV, supposed to be the first virus to be discovered, that is tobacco mosaic virus, and that is naked. And the bacteriophage M13 is a naked helical viruses. Enveloped capsid is also there, that is influenza virus. You can see an envelope. Then polyhedral, otherwise called icosahedral viruses. That also two types, naked in the case of adenovirus, enveloped as in the case of herpes simplex virus. Then complex viruses, capsid not clearly identified in the case of vaccinia virus. Capsid 2 with some other structures are attached, like some bacteriophages. You have already seen that bacteriophage. You can see a head and the tail portion, a collar portion, and the tail is having tail fibers like that. The structure varies. Then what about the helical viruses? The helical viruses are cylindrical, elongated, rod-shaped, rigid or flexible one. We follow cylinder, just like the small straw, just like a small straw. And the capsule consists of numerous subunits called capsomeres. Capsomere helically arranged on the axis. Helical capsule may be naked, told you earlier. And this is the thing. This is the helical naked virus. This is the first discovered virus, tobacco mosaic virus. And it is a small tubular shaped cylindrical structure, and this is surrounded by numerous capsomeres. See, these are all capsomeres. At the center, you can see single stranded RNA. Single stranded RNA. So this is naked tobacco mosaic virus is a positive sense single-stranded RNA virus species in the genus Tobamovirus. See, and it infects the members of the family Solanaceae. The infection causes characteristic patterns such as mosaic-like mottling and discoloration on the leaves. When this virus infect these tobacco plants or Solanaceae members, it infects the leaves. The leaves, you can see a variegation. So, what you mean by variegation? The green leaves you can see numerous white, red, yellow spots are there. So that condition we call as variegation, otherwise called mosaic pattern, and simultaneously what happens, it tilted, and the leaves becomes crumbled appearance. That is the characteristic feature of the infection of this particular virus. TMV was the first, I told you earlier, TMV was the first virus to be discovered. It is the first pathogen identified as a virus. And who crystallized this virus? Stanley, for the first time, isolated TMV, tobacco mosaic virus, in the crystalline form from the sap of infected tobacco plants. And this crystal also infect, when it is infected in healthy plants, it will cause diseases. The virus is a rod-shaped, measuring about 280 into 150 to 180 micrometer in size. And it consists of protein tube with a lumen 20 angstrom, which encloses a single-stranded helix of coiled RNA. So that is the structure of. Then a capsule contains several capsomeres, each composed of few monomeres. Genetic material is a single-stranded RNA. So that much about the structure and the history of this virus. Could you follow me? Any doubt in this? Shall we stop today's class? Thank you very much.